Today's watch comes to us from LightInTheBox. Welcome back, LightInTheBox. Check the show notes down below for the buying link and coupon discount if we have one on this watch. Now, on with our review. Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatch Ticks. We've got an unbagging to do today. Let's get into this. Something in a pretty turquoise little box. It says SmartWatch on it. Yeah, smart bracelet actually. It's got pedometers and heart rate and calories and looks like sleep monitor, all sorts of symbols, a phone, sedentary, it looks like messaging. Well, what is it? Let's find out. We open it up to reveal. Whoa, look at this. Whoa, it was on all this time from China. It's been on in here. Tells me it must have a pretty decent life because, folks, this came on a slow boat. Really, wow, this is cool. This was expected about 3 weeks ago. So the fact that it's got power, we just saw it a second ago, is really amazing. There, look at that. In color. Whoa, okay. We have a charging port. It's metal on the back, a heart rate area there, says smart bracelet. Nice thin little thing. A nice rubberized TPU type of a band with holes and breathing ports. Oops, I must have touched it, gotten it into another mode. Yeah, it's still got 2 out of the 3 battery markers on it. What else have we got? A charger like this. And it goes in here, like so. Okay, that fits nice and snug. That's pretty good. Good charging unit and a manual inside of here, way down in the bottom. Oh, gotta bang it out of there. Chinese on this side, English here. The instructions of the smart bracelet guidelines. Let's take a look. Okay. Nice color little booklet. There's the QR code we're going to be scanning to download the Tethering app for it. More information. This is really a well-designed product, it looks like. Definitely they've taken a bit of time to get the manual nicely done up, and of course printed it in color. Looks like it supports swimming, doesn't it? Okay. Here's another page. Yeah. And we're getting into the app now, it looks like, and explaining how things work in the app itself. That's nice when they go to that much detail. Usually it just says, tether your watch and look at the app. But this one's, wow, this one's giving you all sorts of page-by-page description of what the app could do in color. Okay, that's the heart rate, it looks like, and that's blood pressure over there. Wow. This is pretty fancy. What is that? More blood pressure interface? Huh. And a warning, which is upside down in Chinese because the other half of this manual is the Chinese version of it. Yeah! Well, let's charge it up and give it a shot, see what it'll do. So these are the overall specs that you'll find when you look at the listing on the website. Little bit confusing, not quite sure what a fingerprint sensor is or finger sensor, but nonetheless, IP67, fully waterproof, OLED screen, model number X7OL, and this is it. On, looking like this, with a beautiful color screen, has different levels of brightness you set through the app. Oh, and if you tap and hold, you can change it from color to black and white if you like. Those are the 2 different watch faces that you have available. Now, what's really fun about this watch is as you cycle through, you'll notice here's the steps, but also on that screen are the calories and distance, all in one display. Very convenient. When you tap again, you get into a sports mode. We'll come back to that. Tap again, you get into the heart rate and blood pressure realm. We'll come back to that. Here's your sleep time from last night, just a summary. The app holds all the data. Here's an alarm you can set, the Find Your Phone feature, information about this watch, and the overall power off button. So let's come back here. From the time we come into this display, gathering your information, and it'll increase, of course, as you're walking. It's a step counter. When you're in this one and you press and hold, you get into the sports mode where you can choose cycling, running, swimming, or go back again. And that's like the quick when you want to do a measurement. This one, when you press and hold, it just vibrated, and now it's going to start doing the analysis. And it's beyond heart rate. Heart rate's just one factor. It also uses the PPG technology, that's that little green glowing diode on the back, to interrogate through the capillaries in your arm to determine your blood pressure, which is claiming 114/77, pulse rate of 76, and blood oxygen at 98%, all on one screen. Easy to see when you want to see it right there. You don't have to go through and do separate measurements. Really efficient. This is one of the best I've seen. Accuracy, I don't know. You know, it's only using PPG, not the PPG plus ECG. There, it just vibrated, meaning it locked that in, and that's the final reading. But it is doing a good job, and it is relatively reasonable. It's something you'd need to check for yourself, see if it matches your expected outcome, and if not, if it's always off in a different direction, like always a little too low, you could adjust for that. But there you go. You got all your biometrics in one page. When we get into the Find Your Phone, whoops, let's do that again. Press and hold. You think you're going to hear that? I think you might. Finally, something that really will help you find your gosh darn phone. That's nice. Yeah, that was the app over there. Yeah, it does work. Here's the information on this watch. Gives you your MAC ID, and it's a version 1.2.9. Came with 1.2.8. Had to do a firmware update. It was easily doable from within the app on the phone. And you don't need to hook this to Wi-Fi. You just need to have it Bluetooth connected to the phone and the app to be able to do that. And finally, of course, the last button is press and hold, and it'll turn it off to save your battery power. So the real key to this is to look at what happens in the app with respect to all of this data you're collecting. And for that, we're going to come over here and show you that the Tethering app is called iBand. You can download it directly from the Google Play Store, and it has different screens that look like this. We'll show you my data in a minute, which is nowhere near 69,000 steps. Oh my goodness. You'll get a sleep time thing. Something interesting about that. We'll get into that. Here's your heart rate information. This is in Chinese, but we have the English version. And here's your blood pressure information. And then you've got friends, and you identify yourself and the band and all that kind of stuff. And more of the settings, all in Chinese. But we've got it in English, by golly. So let's go there. Here we go. We're on the opening screen. It was already loaded in the background. You heard it beep. We've got these different pages. This is the step count page, sleep, heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen, and that's it. Let's take them individually. From in here, you see throughout the day, this is my step results. So you know how many steps, I believe, per hour from midnight to midnight you've walked. So you got that overall a way of seeing how your activity is throughout the day. Over here, when you tap that little icon, you can go into a training mode. Now, I don't know how to use this one, but it's available there, and there's a calendar that you can select the date. So it looks like when you do your training, perhaps when you go into that sport mode on the watch directly, you'll get the data in here, and of course you can tap up there and go share it all you'd like. When you tap this one over here, you're getting a history. Now, this is the history, it looks like, on a monthly schedule, 1 through 31st. Here was yesterday and today. I can tap on them individually and get the results for that day. And it looks like I'm getting a daily average computed over the month. So a nice little history summary available for you, pulling all that data together related to your step count activity. Now we move to sleep. Here's last night's sleep. It says I only got 3.7 hours of deep sleep. Here are the different numbers. It said I fell asleep at 2:52 a.m. That was wrong. I was asleep maybe about 10:30 or so. So it missed those first few hours. I did wake up about 6:30 as I recall. And the awake duration during the night, whoops, was 0. Now you notice I accidentally touched here. Here's the sleep time, here's the wake time, and each of these different elements, watch this. I'm going to grab this long one here. Press and hold. It said light sleep started at 3:37 a.m. to 5:05 a.m. And that point, I went into deep sleep from 5:06 to 5:21 and so forth. So, finally, I've got the chart that gives me a good glimpse, and I've got the ability to narrow right down to specific times like the 5 minutes between 3:31 and 3:36 that I had one incredible dream. You can't believe what you can dream in 5 minutes. But I digress. Let's move on. Heart rate. Here's your overall heart rate from 5:42 a.m. to 15:30, I guess, yesterday. And it's showing my average, minimum, and maximum. It's got a measure button. We'll do that in a moment. And this is showing, I don't know, some sort of a chart of 76 out of whatever. Again, down here, I can tap. Wow, look, here's the actual data. On and on and on. Yeah, from way back yesterday, there's my heart rate, and here's the times. Now, you'll see in the settings in a minute, there's a place that you should be able to set the automatic heart rate frequency, and it hasn't been taking. It won't save, but it's doing it anyway. It looks like it's doing it in an interval of, well, all these are 14:52 and a few seconds. This is one when I'm doing a live measurement. Well, let's get up here to ones where it's like changing hourly. Here you go. 17:42, 18:12, 18:42, 19:12. You think every half hour? I do. It looks like it's gauging it to do a reading every half hour on your arm automatically all the time. Nice. And that's the current month. You can change all of that as well. From history on heart rate, we can go to blood pressure. Sure enough, here's the data, systolic and diastolic. Here's your overall, or the last time it looks like, 15:30 this afternoon, 115 over 76. There's the grand data. And here is your stratified hourly or half-hourly data. Yep, 12:42, 12:42, 12:12. Okay. Maybe if it didn't take it, it does it again. Anyway, nice data that you can dive into to see what it's coming up with for your overall blood pressure. These seem low to me, but it might be accurate. I've got to have to, test it with an armband, and you got to do the same thing too. Don't believe my records, believe your own. If you get this, use it for entertainment purposes only. Use your calibrated instrument for verification. Only use this as a guide to have fun with. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's just for fun. But wow, what fun you can have with this, because you get a lot of good recorded data on here. That's the blood pressure. And finally, blood oxygen, same story. You got all this stuff going on. You can hit the totals, and usually you're going to be high in your blood oxygen unless you're really working out and going anaerobic or something, which hopefully this could guide you information-wise on your training program. And that's it for the overall app. It covers those 5 different categories up here. You can go into the setup where you have your user information. You put in all your statistics, weights, and measurements, and save it, your nickname, and you're able then to have that come into compute all of your other data. Here's where we bind the bracelet. You can unbind it and rebind it again if you need to. Once it's bound, it's called the TF1. You're all set. You got the remote camera where you can use this thing to take a picture if you want to. Find my watch, starting it up, and it's vibrating and flashing on the screen. It's not making any noise. This doesn't have a speaker. It just has vibration. But I'm getting that vibration going, and it's working. Different reminders that you can set in here. It's enabled for the band to vibrate and show you these icons, you know, if any of these things are coming in, your app reminders. You have sedentary clock reminders, the anti-lost alert. If you want to do that, you separate from your phone too far, it'll let you know. Built into it, we run, don't know anything about that, but whoa, whoa. Okay, we run is available, and that's all I'm going to say. Download the app, explore it on your own, see if it's something you want to get into. It's beyond the level we're going with this review. Smart screen, here's where you can do the twist your arm to show the time on or off settings, which is great to turn off at night. You have 3 different brightness levels. I'm on normal right now. Come on, you. Here's low. Here's high. And here's medium. So good range. Works. And you got your unit settings in metric or imperial. Good. And you also have your time format in 12 or 24 hour. Excellent. All the things you want that usually 1 or 2 of those things aren't there, and it just like really gets you. Well, not on this one. They are there. You can set your daily steps and your estimated sleep time, but it's automatically going to track, hopefully correctly, when you go to sleep. And then you have what I was talking about, the automatic measurement of heart rate from as little as 5 minutes up to an hour and 20 minutes, and it does not seem to take. I can specify it, I can turn it on, and when you leave it and come back, it's not there. It doesn't save it. So that's probably a feature for other watches and bands that this may tether to that have the flexibility to change that. But for this one, all appearances are that it does it automatically every half hour, 24/7. You can't change it. You can clear the data, though. You can restore the factory defaults. And in the About, you can check for updates to the app or to the band. And this is where the firmware update will push to update the device. And it works. Okay, this was bizarre. Data output. You specify a data storage location and hit data output, and it gives you a spreadsheet of some of the data that it's been collecting for you. Yeah, nice little piece of information. Maybe something you could use to transfer data to something else, one of the other apps that you might be using, or do your own analysis on it. But it's a feature that normally you don't see that's on this one. And here's some Q&A that you could go through in case you're interested. If you see any questions you want answered, you can download this app free right now, hit these things, and read about them before you order the watch. Okay, that is everything and more about this particular app and everything about the band. You think? No, there's more. Look at this. Look at the construction on this. Nice, solid metal all the way around. IP68, was it? 67? Swimmable? You think? Wow. Woohoo! Yeah, everything you want, everything you need. You can tell I've seen the movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if it's on the theaters anymore, but The Greatest Showman, awesome movie. And it's all in here. It's all in the band. And where can you get the band? From LightInTheBox. They got a bunch of them. I told them, this is really good. This is really, really good. As far as I know, they're the only ones that have it too. So check the show notes. Pick it up. LightInTheBox. It's a smart bracelet built in, blah, blah, blah. But it's actually called the X7OL, and it's available right now. You have been watching SmartWatch Ticks, and we appreciate your subscription and participation. And companies like LightInTheBox, they keep coming back and offering us some really cool products because they know you're going to want to see them. And you do, right? You do, right? All right, thanks. We'll see you soon.